Understanding precise details of available memory is core for performance optimization and is one of the key properties for any relational database engine. We can use this particular TSQL query using dmv sys.dm underscore os underscore job underscore object to understand how much memory is there for the given Azure SQL Managed Instance. So let's try executing this particular query. And if you look at the output, it basically tells like we have close to 4 CPU vcores and the total memory in GB is 20.4. dmv sys.dm underscore os underscore job underscore object returns this information by querying column process underscore memory underscore limit underscore MB. For my 4 vCPU vCore Azure SQL Managed Instance, I get close to 20.4 GB memory as we have seen that earlier. So this is the one. So we have 4 CPU vCores and close to 20.4 GB of memory. There is an important detail that needs to be added to the information that is currently extracted, because as in the case of any SQL Server installation, there is a certain amount of memory that will be spent on running the SQL Server itself. This is not the amount of memory that is being spent on the operating system. This is the amount of memory that is spent on making non-SQL OS memory allocations on the Azure SQL Managed Instance to function properly. On Azure SQL Managed Instance, currently there is no possibility of controlling the max server memory setting. For example, if you look at this particular instance, properties of this instance and go to the memory settings, there is no way we will be able to modify this particular setting. This is taken care by Azure SQL Managed Instance itself. So that's the thing as far as max server memory setting is concerned. So now we know that there is no possibility of controlling the maximum server memory setting, and we do reserve some amount of memory in order to run the process as a part of service correctly and successfully. This amount of memory is set aside for thread stacks, DLLs, and other non-SQL OS memory allocation. So what we'll do is like we will discuss more about sys.dm underscore os underscore job object. So as far as this particular DME is concerned, this information that we just talked about is basically exposed through the column non underscore sos underscore mem underscore gap underscore mb, containing the reserved amount of memory in megabytes. SQL OS target memory is the difference between the values in columns process underscore memory underscore limit underscore MB and non-SOS underscore mem underscore gap underscore MB. So we will understand that once we execute this particular query. So let's execute that. And if we look at it here, so we are able to get that information like the amount of memory that is basically given to non-SQL OS related things. So this basically gives you this information wherein it tells like non-SOS mem gap GB is basically 4.2 and total available memory in GB is 16.2. So basically like the total memory in GB, and when you subtract this total memory in GB with non-SOS MEM gap GB, then you will get this total available memory GB. The only way to understand how much memory is allocated to your Azure SQL Managed Instance is by doing some rough calculations. And while you're doing these rough calculations, it is always good if you can incorporate these queries, which will basically give you the information. The problem is like you will not be able to see this particular value anywhere as far as the Azure portal is concerned. The only way you will be able to get the amount of memory as far as Azure SQL Managed Instance is using TSQL query. And one important thing is that you will not be able to increase the amount of memory on an Azure SQL Managed Instance individually. The only way to increase the amount of memory on Azure SQL Managed Instance will be to increase the number of vCores. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Jai Hind.